Jacqueline Kennedy Onassis, born Jacqueline Lee Bouvier on July 28, 1929, was a prominent figure in American culture and politics. She is best known for her role as First Lady of the United States during the presidency of John F. Kennedy and as a cultural icon for her style and grace. In this biography, we will explore the life and accomplishments of Jacqueline Kennedy Onassis. Jacqueline was born into a wealthy family in Southampton, New York. Her father, John Vernon Bouvier III, was a successful stockbroker, and her mother, Janet Norton Lee, was an accomplished equestrian. Jacqueline was the eldest of two daughters and grew up in a privileged environment. She attended several elite schools, including the Chapin School in New York City and the Holton Arms School in Washington, D.C. After completing her high school education, Jacqueline attended Vassar College for 2 years before transferring to George Washington University to study journalism. She was an accomplished writer and had several articles published in local newspapers. In 1953, Jacqueline met John F. Kennedy, then a United States Senator from Massachusetts, at a dinner party in Georgetown. They began dating and were married the following year in Newport, Rhode Island. Together they had 2 children, Caroline and John Jr. First Lady of the United States. After John F. Kennedy was elected President of the United States in 1960, Jacqueline became the First Lady of the United States. She brought a new sense of style and elegance to the White House, and was known for her fashion sense and her love of the arts. During her time as First Lady, Jacqueline was heavily involved in restoration and preservation efforts at the White House. She oversaw a major renovation of the White House's interiors and established the White House Historical Association to help fund restoration efforts. In addition to her role as First Lady, Jacqueline was also a staunch supporter of her husband's political agenda. She traveled extensively throughout the United States and overseas, promoting the administration's policies and meeting with foreign dignitaries. Assassination of President Kennedy. On November 22, 1963, President Kennedy was assassinated while riding in a motorcade in Dallas, Texas. Jacqueline was sitting next to him in the car when he was shot and killed. The event shocked the nation and the world and left Jacqueline devastated. In the aftermath of the assassination, Jacqueline became a symbol of grace and strength for the American people. She attended her husband's funeral in a now iconic black veil, and took a leading role in planning his memorial and burial. After the death of her husband, Jacqueline moved to New York City with her children. She later married Greek shipping magnate Aristotle Onassis in 1968 and became known as Jacqueline Onassis. They lived a glamorous life of international travel and luxury, but their marriage was not without controversy. After Onassis' death in 1975, Jacqueline returned to New York City and focused on her career and her children. She worked as an editor for Viking Press and later for Doubleday, where she helped publish several successful books. In her later years, Jacqueline became more reclusive and focused on her personal life. She passed away on May 19, 1994, from non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, at the age of 64. Jacqueline Kennedy Onassis is remembered as a symbol of grace, elegance, and strength. Her contributions to the White House restoration and preservation efforts helped ensure that the historic building will be preserved for generations to come. Her fashion sense and personal style have had a lasting impact on American culture, and she remains a cultural icon to this day. Jacqueline Kennedy Onassis led a life of elegance, grace, and resilience. From her privileged upbringing to her role as First Lady of the United States, and her later years as a successful editor, Jacqueline Kennedy Onassis left an indelible mark on American culture and politics. Her fashion sense and personal style have had a lasting impact on American fashion, and her contributions to the preservation and restoration of the White House have ensured that this historic building will be cherished for generations to come. Jacqueline's tragic loss of her husband, President John F. Kennedy, and her subsequent efforts to honor his legacy have cemented her place in American history as a symbol of strength and grace in the face of adversity. Despite her many accomplishments and contributions to American society, Jacqueline Kennedy Onassis will always be remembered for her unwavering commitment to her family, her country, and her own sense of style and grace.